the best where I am, but again, I think it's good enough. Welcome on board, everybody. Sorry about the shaky camera here. As you can tell, the ocean is right behind me, and the waves might be a little loud. And if they are, please let me know. I know that I'm a little dark here, but as soon as the sun sets, I'll probably come out a little better. Welcome on board. Woo. So today, our setting, I'm sitting here down by the ocean in Encinitas, and there you are, LEK. Let me know if the sound isn't good. Then I'll close the gate behind me. But if the sound works this way, then we will do it this way, because we're getting the sound of the waves behind us. Oh, thank you, Glenn. Thank you, sir. Glad to hear it. Oh, good, LEK. Then everything is working the way we were hoping it would work. Tayo, hi. So welcome aboard, everyone. We are here every Monday. I go on live here to sit with you so that we can share some moments of stillness and beauty and connect to our inner sense of love. It's interesting for me because sometimes my old programming, which, we all have an old program running in our minds, and this is often who we think we are, or how we think life is to us, how we think life happens to us or for us. And a lot of times when the mind gets the best of me, at least, and I believe it's true for all of us, there can be bleak moments in our lives. And in reality, right, nothing has truly changed. In reality, we are still connected to our deeper inner sense of love, inner sense of who we are, and inner sense of stillness. This is a very good passage, both for me and I hope it's for you as well. The energies in our universe right now are fairly upheavaling. They are unraveling a lot of things in our programs so that we will get a better chance to see how our suffering is caused by ourselves and our own minds. So we are here, and the theme of today is that even when things are shaky around us, many people I've spoken to, and including myself, there's been problems in communication and in relationships around us. Welcome on board, everybody. So when we have these issues around us, it can sometimes rattle us. It can shake us up. And when we come back home, this is where I name these things light workers, because in my world, I believe that we all have this inner light, this inner sense of stillness, and this inner sense of love. But it's easy to lose ourselves in our minds to the unraveling of things around us. And almost always we end up getting the short end of the stick. We start sitting in our pain body. Our pain starts taking over, and suddenly the world doesn't look as beautiful or as pretty as it does when we are able to reconnect deep down inside. And I'm here to help us guide us to ourselves, back home, coming back into our innate sense of love, of joy, of happiness, and of stillness. This sense lives inside of each one of us all the time. And at this moment, I'm speaking directly to you. I'm speaking directly to your higher self and your inner self. I'm speaking to the part of you that even when things seem difficult, you are still in your spirit, you are still a strong, loving, amazing, giving, generous person. Our program, which is what we often confuse the world for, is a different story. So often the program, when it takes over, we end up in similar situations that we have been in previously in our lives. And when those show up for us, they always show up as lessons. Those moments of tough, tricky times, trickiness, are always good signposts that we can learn from, that we can pick up and take up our lessons from, our deeper teachings. They live within you all the time. And when we go in our meditation, when we go into our meditation, we can often find that, oh, so I am still a healing, loving, kind individual deep inside. Even when things on the outside seem difficult, even when things on the outside seem troubling, or we're projecting different forms of toughness to the rest of the world, it's like then when we come back home in our meditation, we can see, I can see, you can see that you are still that loving individual that you know you are. That you know that when you come back home into your deeper sense of self, you recognize that, oh, in your life, everything is perfect now. Now, there might be things on the surface that aren't as perfect. There could be things going on, both in my life and in other people's lives, that are hard to deal with, but it doesn't mean that our light has to dim inside. It often feels that way at first, but as we keep going back into ourselves, come back home, we start to remember. We start to remember who we actually are. And who you are is both what we call the higher self. We also call it your ancestral lineage, the lifetimes you have lived here before. Your energy has walked this planet for a long time. Your lessons are deep in your system. And as you come back home, you can start to see it. Then we learn to see beneath and beyond the circumstances on the superficial part of our lives. As we look on, we can look on financial situations that can be tough. We can look on emotional situations that can be tricky. We look at relationships that can be dramatic, we can get caught up in situations. But when you are able to come into yourself, when you are able to come back home, those situations don't look the same. They don't feel the same. If you can come from your inner space, when you look at your life, you can see, and for me it becomes easy to see, that almost all the suffering that we all have experienced in our lives, somehow we have a part in it. Somehow there's something in our lives that we are not paying attention to. Maybe in my case, it can be hard to have healthy boundaries. It can be hard to have good communication skills for myself. And it's easy to end up wrapped up in situations that are not easy to deal with, because in my case, it's what I got to learn. And I believe it's like that for all of us. I believe that every time we go through something that's trying, testing our patience, our sense of self, our sense of stability, there is something in it that we can learn from. That we can see, oh, am I not in my power right now? Am I not sitting in my inner space? Am I not coming from that deep rootedness that we all have? That when you are able to come back home, bring your energy home. You can try it right now, right? We can bring ourselves back into our body, take a deep breath, and release. what seems to be problems in the outer space of our lives. So when we come back home into ourselves, and we use our breath to do so, we use our breath, take a deep breath, we use our breath to move our awareness and our attention into ourselves. This is how you end up connecting to your deeper sense of love. When you start connecting into yourself, you start to realize, oh my God, if I can take away all the outer circumstances that seem troubling, if I can do that and disregard them for at least a moment, and coming back home into my inner, deeper sense of self, suddenly, life changes. Suddenly, I come back home and I start feeling my life force energy in the root chakra, in the sacral chakra, which is around your belly button. And your spine straightens out a little bit. And you start to feel at home in yourself, in your energy. And as we do, we end up finding that joy. We end up finding that inner love. That is so tasty. It is so tasty when we can sit with it. So keep that breath going. Keep breathing into your body. And whatever it might be that's trying to grab your attention, whatever those thoughts are, keep feeling into yourself. Release that outer drama. Release the thought patterns that are so often based in trauma. They're based in our upbringing. They're based in our dysfunctional energies that we picked up on as we grew up. As we come back home, it becomes so much easier to release it. It becomes so much easier to sit in our sense of love, to sit in our deep, innate sense of who we actually are. This is where meditation becomes this very, very helpful practice. If we can do this, if we can do our meditation on a daily basis and keep checking in with ourselves, keep coming back home, suddenly the things that seemed so overwhelming, the programs that run in our minds, the programming that runs in my mind, doesn't play the same part anymore. It's not as important anymore. And yes, it's helpful to start to map it out. It's helpful to start to see, so I'm not having healthy boundaries because I don't think I'm worth healthy boundaries. Because maybe I don't think I'm worthy the same amount of space in the world that other people are. And maybe it's hard for you to express your needs in your relationships. Maybe it's hard for you to express yourself in your relationships. And if you find that to be a problem, it could be that is a pattern in your life that started when you were little. It started when you didn't have your needs met as a kid, and maybe you were trying to express it but were disregarded. Maybe something else happened. We all have stuff in our lives that are a part of our program. We all have things that pop up that say, well, you're not worthy of this or that. But as you come back home, and this is not about bypassing our pain, it's about finding your strength and your stillness and your power and your love so that you can sit with whatever suffering you have had. As we bring ourselves into the now, because in order to feel our sense of love and in order to feel our sense of self, we have to learn how to release both the past and the future. To recognize that even the most painful traumatizing, traumatic experiences we had growing up or later in life, they were part of either our own programming or as things we need to learn to break the ancestral trauma that runs in every single family. If we can learn how to break those traumas by feeling our inner love, you start to raise your inner vibration. You start to break the old patterns. And I keep saying it, we all have it. We all have different forms of trauma that is running through our lineage. And if you are like me, maybe this is the time when you can say, okay, no more. The trauma stops with me. The pain, the cycle of pain stops with me. Because I want to heal. Because I want to enter into my inner kingdom, my inner queendom of strength and love and power. Not at all about other people. This inner healing journey isn't about if they only changed, I would do better. It's not about other people. It's about seeing ourselves from a space of inner love and compassion. Seeing our programming from that space of inner compassion so we can gain some spaciousness in the mind, so we can gain understanding. We can start to release the stories. We can start to release the stories of our own troubles. When we release those stories, we gain access to our inner power. And as you get more powerful, it becomes easier to recognize, I'm in that old pattern. I'm in that old thinking way. Pain body is knocking on my door. Pain body is saying you're not worthy. Pain body is saying, you should be sad or sorry or down over this or that. But coming back home always means to tap into your life force energy. It always means to tap into who you actually are now. And not the outer circumstances, not what's in the bank account, not what's not in the bank account, not who loves you, who doesn't love you on the outside. Only you come back into yourself. You start to see patterns. We might be people pleasers. We might have an issue with relationships. We might have a hard time standing our ground in relationships. Well, if we do, we start to come back home and we learn, okay, this doesn't feel good for me. I need to speak up. Or can we be truthful and honest in situations at work or in other parts of life? And can we see that sometimes it's just a passage? That this too will change. That this too shall pass. Because that's another deep spiritual learning, right? Deep spiritual lesson. This too shall pass. Meaning, nothing lasts forever. So no matter how dark things seem, it won't stay dark. No matter how light they seem, they won't stay light. It'll come and go, just like the waves on the ocean behind me. These are the waves of life. And as we learn to basically surf those waves, we learn to be the deeper presence. So when things come our way that shakes us up, that can try to shake our confidence, shake our lives up, we can use it as a tool to see ourselves more clearly. So when I have hard times, I know deep down inside they're not going to last. I know that it's going to change. I know that things are going to get brighter and better and more loving and stronger. I know that that's the trajectory of our inner healing journey. And that is your trajectory as well, no matter how dark it looks right now. No matter how hard it is right now. Your trajectory is that you're going to start to understand more and more about yourself and your life, and you end up creating upward going spirals. Now, a spiral means we often have to revisit, because we're going in circles, right? But circles that are moving upwards. We're going to revisit things. There is the problem over here. and then the problem goes away for a bit, and I keep raising my vibration. I come back and I see the problem again, but this time I see it from a different light. Because I have already raised my vibration a whole circle in that spiral, right? A whole lap. I'm coming up, and now I can see it differently. I can still get the problem. I can still see that it happens, but I can react differently. I can feel differently into it. And when I do, life begins to change. Some things may take longer, because we all have blind spots in our lives. We all have things in our lives that, oh my God, why is this happening to me again? It is for me and you to learn something new. And when we end up learning, sometimes it can be hard lessons. Sometimes it can be, I need to put my foot down. I need to stand my ground for my energy life so that I, or you, have the same space, the same presence that everybody else around us do, or does. It's easy for some of us, in my case, it's easy to put myself down or to pretend like I don't really exist. My needs are not important. And whoever I'm working with or whatever is going on, their needs are more important. And it's interesting to see that, hang on, maybe I need to learn to step up to my boundaries. Maybe that's the lesson, you know. Or we can start to relate to these lessons differently. We can start to see, so this happened to me again, but it happened for me to learn. It happened for me to see the situation one more time. Many of us I had for quite a long time, relationships in my life that always looked very similar. I would attract the same kind of partner into my life over and over and over. And even after quite a few years of counseling and stuff, I had a lot of understanding, and people told me, oh my God, you understand so much. Of course, you're not going to meet the same type of partner again. The same situations aren't going to happen again. But I knew somewhere that yes, I may understand a lot, but I'm not really sure I'm not going to attract the same situations. And very truly, I have attracted the same situations. Because it wasn't just about understanding. It was also about coming in to raise my inner vibration, to connect deep into my inner sense of love so that I can strengthen it. So when things pop up for you, we can be like, oh no, we don't have to go as far down the same path again. There's a beautiful story that a friend of mine shared to me a long time ago. And he said, there was once a man who walked down a road, and he fell into this pothole, and it was a big pothole. There was a hole in the ground, and he didn't see the hole because his attention was somewhere else. Maybe it was on the phone, maybe he was thinking a lot, but he fell into this deep hole. And it took him a long time to dig his way out of the hole because he couldn't find his way out. He didn't know why it had happened. Then he got out of the hole. And the next day he's walking down the road again, and he falls into the hole again, one more time. But this time he can climb out a little faster, because he remembers how he got out the other day. Then, the third day, he walks down a different road. There's another hole. But this time the hole isn't as deep. So he kind of only steps into his knees, and he can get out of that hole fairly easy. The fourth day, he goes down the road, realizes now this doesn't seem right, gets back out, goes down the second road where the hole was not so deep. He's like, oh no, this wasn't a good road either. And he chooses a new path. And there are no holes on this new path. This is a very nice allegory for my life at least, and I believe for many of our lives. We learn to get out of these holes sooner and sooner. But it also works this way, right? In order for us to learn, to fully embody our healing, to fully embody our experience, we have to experience these situations in order to learn how to say no, or I'm choosing something else. It's a beautiful path when we start to realize that, oh, that's how my life works. Because at some point we learn to walk that road with no potholes. Because now we are paying attention. Now we are at home in our body. We are at home in our hearts. And our hearts, when you remain open in your heart, you can begin to feel when things are not in alignment with you. And you begin to listen to your intuition. In my case, I begin to listen to power animals, to spirit guides. The more I have sat on the shamanic path, the easier it gets to hear what these different guides are sharing, are telling us. If I do what they say, things work out. If I don't, usually I have to repeat certain trauma. I have to repeat certain pain until I learn. Until I learn. It's an upward building spiral, my friends. But sometimes we have to revisit the same places in order to keep growing, to keep spiraling upwards. I used to be on a downward going spiral. It always felt that way. It felt like life was very hard and very difficult, and it kept going down, kept getting worse, kept getting worse. And as my healing journey has progressed, gotten deeper and stronger and more powerful, my healing journey is going in an upward traveling spiral. So we are gaining information, we are learning from the experiences, and we don't have to do the same mistakes again. We don't have to listen to that innate programming again. We can start to come back home and feel into our body. Feel what sits right with you, what doesn't sit right with you. And over time, you embody your higher self. Over time, your inner vibration starts to vibrate out into the world. And this is where we really start to change things. All right, my loves, let's do this. We're going to do a shorter healing session. I want to see if I can help support the field, help support you, help support me. These healing sessions, they work for me as well as for you. We meet in the quantum field, we meet in the energy. And when you can take that deep breath in your body and you remember your innate sense of love, you remember your deeper sense of self, which is not a part of that outer program. It's a part of who you actually are. You come back home. So today, almost like what we did the other time, last week, I want you to see if there's something in your program that keeps coming up for you. A way of relating to yourself, maybe. Maybe it's a way how you talk to yourself. Maybe it's your self-talk. See if there's anything in that we can help release today. That we can help you come back home into your sacral chakra, into your root chakra, into your heart, and come more from your energy. So we're going to help you interrupt the negative self-talk that so many of us have. Yes, sir. Hold it up in light. Whatever your issue is that you would like to release, bring it to the forefront. Hold it up in light or into the light. And feel yourself being full of light. As maybe you can recognize that this negative self-talk does not serve you or anybody else for that matter. We are going to release it. So let's do a healing session. We're going to work on your energy. So with your permission, we'll pull things out of your system. See if you can expand your heart. Unfold and expand the space around your heart. With your breath, connect to your root chakra, grow roots into Earth Mother, and then go to your heart. Connect that with your sacral chakra. Tayo koko tayo. Tayo koko tayo. Tayo, 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 tayo. Tayo, toyo. Tayo, toyo. Hoda dea. Toyo, toyo, toyo. Tayo, tayo, tayo. Wae, toyo. Tayo, tayo. Tayo, tayo. Keep your breath going into your body. Feel an expansion in your energy field. Yo, 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 yo. Expand around your mind. Expand your crown chakra. Tayo, 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 tayo. Tayo, 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 tayo. Tayo, toyo, toyo, toyo. Tayo, wae, toyo. Tayo, yo, 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 Take a few deep breaths, everybody. Take a few deep breaths. Feel how you're expanding. Feel your expansion. Yes. Welcome back, everyone. I know I'm all dark right now. It is beautiful with the ocean behind me, isn't it? Tayo, ogo tayo. So I want to thank you, everybody, for coming on board. I love that we get to share these moments of inner stillness, of peace, and of healing. We get to sit in this inner space. We get to remember who we actually are. We get to remember our life force energy. We get to remember our origin, our ancestral origin. You are powerful beyond measure. You are powerful beyond any programming of your mind. The world is waiting for you to step out and shine. The world is waiting for you to release those bondages of self, to release the program in your mind, so you can sit with your energy and let it shine. Thank you, Ellie K. Thank you, Johnny Neal. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, everybody else who are on here. Oracle, Serpent Visionary, thank you. I'm so grateful we get to share these moments. And I wish you a beautiful, lovely, loving, amazing, powerful week. So much love. So much love. Thank you, Sierra Sunsets. Thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful, lovely, amazing week. I will talk to you again next week. Namaste and aho. Ai, 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 ai. Thank you.